morning, everyone. My name is Sampson. As she said, I want to apologize in advance for my accent. Might be a little different from what you're used to. I'm going to try to speak as slow as possible to be sure that my message is understood. Okay. I want to start with a quote that says that success in life comes when you simply refuse to give up with goals so strong that obstacles, failures, and loss only act as motivation. From my part of Africa, Nigeria to be precise, it's common knowledge that children are considered as insurance for old age. Like the parents give birth to as many children as possible with the hope that by the time they start getting old, the children will be able to, succeed them and be able to help raise the younger kids and take care of them while they're old. The male children are raised with the hope that they'll get a job. Of course, they are the ones that parents see the importance of seeing through education. Education at home is specifically most of the time for the male children alone, while the female children are raised with the hope that they will grow up as beautiful young women and a very wealthy suitor will come along someday, get married to them, and be able to help elevate the family from poverty. Unfortunately, I'm from one such family. My father's love for me knows no bound, and he always assured me, always reminded me of how much he loved me. But unfortunately, it was not enough for him to see the importance of training me through school. I have a twin brother who although we were born the same day, but he was always considered as more important because they believe I'll get married someday and walk away, and he's the one that will stay. So the education priority was placed on him. But determined to go to school, I told myself that I was going to do my best to make my father proud and to make myself proud and to achieve my academic goals. And that was when I started working from the age of 14. I worked, did all kinds of jobs. I was able to save enough money to see myself through high school. The education system in Nigeria is nothing compared to what education system is like in the United States. I remember so many nights that with the little money I was able to save, I'll buy a pack of candle, and because there was no electricity, I would burn one candle, try to make sure that the candle would, burn fast, while the candle is burning, I'll see how much studying I could get done before it finally burns down. I remember this particular night that it was burning, and the night was so quiet, no single sound, until the candle burned down completely, and then that was when I went to bed. But at the end of the day, it really paid off because I graduated top in my class in my high school. And with that, I was so excited, and I was so happy, and I said, okay, I was going to prove to my dad that I was that smart. Hopefully, he would have a change of mind. But I went to him with my results, also excited and all of that. He looked at me, and he said to me, "Oh, my beautiful, smart daughter, if only you were a man." That was what he said to me. If only you were a man. And I just looked at him and I said, "Papa, I'm sorry, I'm not a man, but this is just me. If only you could just love me and see the potentials in me as a person." So with that in mind, I continued to struggle and continue to do all kinds of jobs, hoping that someday I'll be able to at least go to college. It was during one of those jobs that, fortune smiled on me when I met my husband. He was actually, he was in Africa on an official trip. And in one of the little guest houses I was working, he came in with some other colleagues of his, and that was how we met. One thing led to the other. He started to ask me. One day he asked me that, he traveled back to the US and he came back again. And he asked me, "What do you really want to be in the future? What do you want out of life?" And in my heart, even though I wanted to go to school so bad, but because I wanted to help my dad and make him be proud of me, I told him that I'd like to get a very good job someday, make a lot of money, and be able to help my younger ones. And And he looked at me and he said, "You deserve more than that. Wouldn't you like to go to school?" And I broke down and I started to cry. But I don't know how God did it. Before he knew it, he asked for my hand in marriage, went to my father, paid my bride price. 2 years later, I moved down to the United States. When I got here, it was a lot challenging for me because the issue of adaptation was a very big one for me. Everything about the place was different. This is big America. Finally, I'm here. But I found out I could not drive. I could not go anywhere because you don't have a driver's license, you don't have a green card, you don't have nothing. And I couldn't even work. And I wanted so bad to work. But he told me that I can't let you just sit down at home. I know you're not used to it. And you cannot work now. How about we register you in college? And I said to him, I don't think I'm ready. I can barely understand the language, the accent here. And I don't know, it's so different. And he said to me, babe, you can do it. Don't worry, let's just go check what Lee College has. One of his brothers graduated from Lee College and he told us about how he schooled here, and during one of the job fairs, he was offered a job as a process operator. Seeing how successful he has become, I told myself that, wow, if Lee College could afford someone such opportunity, maybe that's the right place for me. And then we came here, we met with Miss Yvonne Morris. She told me that it's unfortunate that I'm going to be placed under international student status because I don't have a green card yet. And the downside to it was that my tuition was going to be 3 times the regular rate. And I wasn't working. I couldn't work. And as at then, my husband was just working as a contractor, like he didn't have a steady job. So when she said that, I told him, I told you, see, we can do it. When we got home, he told me we'll be able to do it. And I said, how? He said, let's see what happens. This man, at the end of the month, what he did was, my tuition that year, the first time was about $2,800. He pulled out that money, put it aside. And we paid the tuition first. And after we paid the tuition, we didn't have enough money to see us to the end of the month. It was so bad that, I remember this particular month that we were so broke after paying the tuition that we didn't have enough money to last us to the end of the month. So, there's a big jar. I saw it here. They put a lot of coins, a lot of, penny, little money coins thing. So that night was around 2 a.m. We didn't know what to do, so we carried that big jar of coins and we went to Crockers. And we told them that, they could convert it to money, to kind of dollars or something. And that day we ended up with about $18. $18 was so big because we didn't have anything left. But he told me we were going to make it, and that was how challenging it was. So I told Miss Morris that this is too hard for me. How am I going to be able to pull through? And she said to me, Gift, the only option is just prove to yourself, prove to your instructors that you're smart. If you can come out with A's, you can make A's. Probably I'll be able to send a short note to your department. They'll be able to give you some money to help you. And I worked so hard. Oh my God. I went to the writing center every day because my biggest problem was transitioning between the British English and the American English. So English was a big deal for me. I went every day to the writing center to the point that once I called, they would know me by voice. Hey, Gift, what time do you want to come? I was there every day. Sometimes they want to kick me out because I'll be there until when they begin and when they're about to leave. But at the end of the semester, it all paid off because I made all A's. And then I went back to her and said, hey, I made all A's. And she said to me, okay, that's beautiful. And she sent an email to my department, my major. Sorry to say I was majoring in logistics and supply chain management. And the man said to her that they have just $250 left, that was all they had. I said, that would buy my textbook, that's a lot, that would be a lot. And then that money meant so much to me. And I came back with it and I told my husband and he was so happy. that month. So that was how I started to struggle. You know, while I was going to the writing center every day, I found out I was getting better. One of the tutors at the writing center saw Blair. Oh my God. He read one of my works one day and he said, Gift, why don't you join the honors program? And I said to him, I can't do it. Like, I was afraid of adding any additional class because it was going to entail additional money. And apart from that, I didn't think I could do it because I look at honors people people that are from out of this world, they are these people that stand out in the crowd. I told myself, I barely just got here. What do I possibly have to be in the honors program? He said, you can do it. One of the days, he couldn't take my excuses anymore. He practically took me to Ms. Georgia Ward's office. And she looked at my transcript, my grades and everything, and she said, okay. She interviewed me, said a lot of nice things to me, and I was shivering the whole time. Finally, she said, welcome to the honors program, Gibbs. And I was like, oh my God, I'm in honors, and I was so happy. As I was walking out there, I just kind of wished that my father would have seen me now. But as I was walking out of there, something told me that this was just the beginning. So I left that place, and the next month, oh my God, that was when the best thing ever happened to me. I received one huge scholarship, $1,000 scholarship from the Magdalene Memorial. And I told my husband I got a scholarship. He didn't believe it. And I told him, look, it's big. It's kind of like $500 for one semester and $500 for another semester. And he was so happy. And both of them were so happy. And that was how it all started. And that body meant the world to me. I don't know what else to say, but I'm not even going to go by this paper. I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone. Whatever you're doing, I know there's a text in the Bible that said if you cast your bread upon many waters, that it will come back to you in so many ways. I am not from here. The bread you cast has gone so far beyond the boundaries of this country, and it will continue to speak to the test of time, to stand the test of time. What you are doing, it's like casting it, and it touched me from another part of the world, and now I'm here today because of you guys. And I cannot thank the new college now, all these facilities, because there was no electricity in my country. There was nothing, and this college provides me with everything. I have the computer, I have the internet, I have everything. All I can do to give back is to keep making good grades, and someday I'll be able to transfer to a four-year university and be able to get a good job and go back and tell my father, look what beautiful thing the college has made out of me. I cannot be more grateful. Thank you, everyone.